Hey flute players, I'm Mrs. Bearden, and today I'm going to teach you how to take your flute out of its case, put it together, clean it, and a few other maintenance things you're going to need to know as we start playing this next week. So let's start out, let's get our flute case, and they're all going to look about the same. When you open it, you want to make sure that the hinge goes upwards. If it flips down, that means the case is upside down and your flute will actually fall on the floor and could break. You're going to open both of them, then I'm going to face it towards me and put it in my lap and open it just like this. As you can see, you've got three different parts. This part is called the head joint. A lot of you remember this from instrument tryouts. You know, ours was a little bit smaller, but it's the same thing. You're going to then pick up the bigger piece. This is the body. And this top part, where it's sectioned off right here, that's where your head joint's going to go in. And you're just going to twist it back and forth like this. And as you can see, there's a little line right here where it goes from being shiny to not shiny. You don't want to push it all the way up. You want just a little bit of that not shiny part to show. The hole needs to line up with all of the holes on the flute. So you're going to want to hold it like this and twist it back and forth a little bit till it lines up perfectly. That way when you blow into it, the hole's sticking straight up in the air. Next, you're going to get the foot joint. The foot joint, same thing, goes on the very end, and you need to twist it back and forth. You don't ever want to force it on. Now, the way it lines up is this pole on the foot joint lines up directly in the middle of the keys, just like that. And there you go, your flute is together. Now, we're not going to talk about making a sound today. We're going to do that later this week, but I want you to remind yourself on how to hold it. Your left hand, if you need to know your left, put your fingers out to make two L's, and the one that makes the right L is your left, is going to go on the front right here. Your right hand's going to come over the keys on the back. It's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3. Your left hand skips 1, and then 1, 2, 3. And your pinky just rests right down here. When you put it up to your mouth, you need to make sure you sit up nice and straight. Bring it all the way up where the hole is facing the ceiling and on your bottom lip. As you can see, I'm holding mine straight out that way. You don't want to do it like this. You don't want to hold it up way up here. Just nice and straight, and then you'll face your stand. The flute's one of the easiest ones to put together, so I don't think you'll have any trouble doing that. The only thing that you might have trouble with is if you have a brand new flute. Sometimes it's hard to get the pieces together. And what you can do is you can get cork grease. It comes in a little tube. It looks like chapstick, but it's not. And you put cork grease right along the sides of it. Same with the head joint. Very easy, like this. Now to put it back up, you just go in reverse. Slowly twist off the foot joint and put it back in its case. And then slowly twist the head joint off and put it back in its case. You want to make sure they go back in the case the exact right way, because if they don't, when you close the case, it'll actually hit the keys and it'll bend it, and you don't want to break your new instrument. To clean your flute, most of you should have gotten either a long fuzzy thing, and that just goes in and out of the flute pieces, or you might have had seen something called a tuning rod. A tuning rod's a long stick with a hole at the end. It kind of looks like a really big needle, sewing needle, and you put a cloth in the hole and you just run it through your flute. But really, you shouldn't have to clean it right now because you're not playing just yet. Once you get done, you always want to close your case, and you want to make sure you lock it on both sides. And there you go. So for class, you're going to need your flute. My red and blue days, make sure you bring them Thursdays and Fridays. My virtual kids, make sure you have those ready to go. Everybody needs to have their Essential Elements Book 1 for flute. It's yellow, and this person did a great job. It's hard to see it now, but their name was on it. So make sure your first and last name is written on it in Sharpie. You must have this. This is our textbook, and this is what we're going to use every day. If you look in the beginning of the book on the first page, it says Student Activation Code. If you go to myeelibrary.com, and that is in this beginning, and you put in that code, it'll pull up all of the flute exercises in this book. It's got great videos. It's got lots of different things that we're going to use in class, and I'm going to encourage you to use that a lot. So if you have any questions, please let me know. You can email me or send me a message on Schoology, and I'm looking forward to us playing later this week.